Coach, overall thoughts on team performance, a lot of bonus points, some perceived toss-up matches, and you guys were kind of widening the gap there.
Yeah, I mean, we got done talking to the team, and this was it's been a really tough early schedule for us with Vegas and early West Coast trip and coming back to OU, and then this match. Just really happy with the guys. I think we're getting better every week. It's just cool to see the stuff that we're working on in practice and these guys going out and doing it. We talked to them about just wrestling the way you want to wrestle, and these guys are going out and doing that. So it was good to see them do that. For
Spratley, he's won a lot of one takedown matches. Ventresca's super good, had a great Vegas. Did you think that would transpire at the end where he'd be able to get the late takedown on a turn like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Troy's, last year he had a really good year, but a lot of really close matches. And those go either way. And this year he's had a very, very difficult start to the season. And he's done a good job of staying focused and continuing to improve, and he's starting to believe that he can separate himself in a very, very tough weight class. So he's had a really good start, and that was awesome to see. It's an easy match to just let it stay close and find yourself in an overtime or a double overtime. And getting that takedown in the first period was huge, and then obviously at the end, making that decision to get the takedown and then get the turn, and Troy's good on top. So it's a good one for him to just continue to build his momentum.
What do you think of DJ's match? Obviously pretty dominant.
Yeah. DJ just went out there ready to wrestle. It's just good to see the guys doing that. They're just wrestling the way they want to wrestle, which is good. And college wrestling can be a thing where it starts getting the season and you can just stand around. We kind of call it the dead space in between you and your opponent. And we did a good job of eliminating the dead space today and wrestling guys and creating the action. I think we earned 8 stall points tonight, which is awesome. And we didn't get them, we earned them. We're on the guys, and I think that's great. DJ's offensive rate of attack tonight was high, and he scored in multiple positions. So just that guy's tough. Just trying to separate ourselves.
What's possible for him this year?
I don't know. I mean, it's whatever DJ wants to do. I think it's a tough weight class, but that's why we're training, and that's what we're wrestling for. Days like today are days where you got a really tough guy, and he separated himself today, but tomorrow's a new day. You just got to keep getting better.
What did you make of Caleb's effort at the end?
Well, yeah, I mean, shoot, talking about making some mistakes. I mean, he made some, but that's Caleb. We talk about leaving, and these guys just be like, I don't wrestle that guy again. And that guy might have won that match, but I don't think he wants to wrestle Caleb again. So yeah, he made some mistakes, but he wrestled through them. He finished great. We'll clean those things up. But I would rather that than a guy standing around doing nothing and waiting for one takedown at the end. So, Caleb's a guy that's going to create a lot of scoring opportunities. I mean, he made some mistakes for sure, but he'll clean that stuff up. He just, he's still just getting the lineup. It's just his first match running out there. I'm sure had maybe some nerves running through himself, but he's felt it, and now January would be time to make some more improvements.
What's sort of going through your mind when Luke's in a minute-long scramble in sudden victory?
Well, he's always been a good scrambler. He's good on top. And today was, a match where, the way it went, he was on top in the third, and he's been riding guys a lot, and he didn't. So, again, there's one of those choices. Shoot, it's not really going my way. What's next? And, goes and gets a takedown. And he was dead to rights. I mean, just kept wrestling. So it's good.
Is a scenario like that more nerve-wracking as a coach or as a wrestler?
I don't know. Both of them pretty nerve-wracking. I mean, we're just standing over on the side, but we just ask guys to continue wrestling and continue to believe in what we're doing, and Luke's been a good representation of that so far.
From this point last year to now, the offensive efficiency you guys have shown is almost night and day. I mean, just getting those bonus points and extending those leads. What would you attribute the growth in that area and the, increased tendency to get those bonus points? What would you attribute that the most to?
Belief, we're just guys are believing. We talk about what's your expectation when you walk out there. Do you expect to just win, or do you expect to keep scoring? That's what we talked about. Just keep scoring. We want the guys to make mistakes because that's the easiest way we're going to figure things out, you know. And I don't know, guys are just pushing themselves in practice, and it's momentum. I mean, we talked about this earlier this season. You know, 25 starts, 33, 41. I mean, that's how duels can swing one way or the other. And we start with 3 major decisions right off the bat. You know, and tough matches. So these guys are choosing to go out and do that. You know, so it's just really credit to them. They're doing a good job.
You mentioned Luke being a good scrambler, and he is. I've covered him since high school. He's always been able to do that. But you're new to coaching him. How long have you gone back and looked at old matches and things like that with some of these kids that you're new to coaching?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been following wrestling for a long time, so familiar with a lot of these guys. But yeah, you learn about them. You know, and that's the benefit of being in the room and wrestling and training with them this summer. You know, we were on the mat with these guys every day. We were on the mat with them every day. So you learn real quick. You learn where we good, where we need to improve. Okay, let's work on those areas. And it's just, you got 10 starting guys, but we got however many guys on our team. Every one of them's a little different. So we got to, this is our plan. This is what we're going to go do, but it's a little different. We have guys that wrestle different in the lineup. So how do we build upon what they're doing? How do we continue to get better? I think that's the fun thing about being a coach is, we're not just coming in there and just running guys through practice. We're trying to help them get better at wrestling. And, that's what we're here for, trying to help these guys achieve their goals.
How impressed are you to see the I guess, swift growth this team is displaying in an array of different areas so quickly from the moment you've taken over?
I mean, the guys are they're believing. That's what it takes. It just takes belief. It takes, wrestling's hard. We all know that. I mean, it's not easy. But we have the decision to maybe take the easy way or the hard way. We're taking the harder way, taking the way that we're going to keep wrestling, and I think that's good. And guys are believing. It's been a good start, but we haven't really done anything yet. We won some dual meets and won a tournament, but we're halfway through the season. There's still a lot of improvement for us to make, and we just got to help keep getting better.
Crowd seem pretty fired up. How much does that impact what you guys are doing?
Wrestling Gallagher is awesome. Unfortunately, the way that our schedule fell this year, we haven't had any students yet. We've pretty much been in breaks the entire time of all of our home matches. So the momentum will continue to build. The excitement, Oklahoma State loves wrestling. I'm looking forward to, getting to some dual meets towards the end of January and February where we start to get the students involved, and we want this place to be a place that people fear coming and wrestle. It's loud, it's exciting, crowd's educated. Home mat advantage is awesome. So, we want to have good dual meets that matter, dual meets that are fun, dual meets that are exciting. The fans are the most important thing. We want people from all over Oklahoma, everywhere to come watch our duels. And in order to do that, guys go out and wrestle and score points and be exciting. We talk about this being a show. You could stay at home and watch on ESPN Plus. That's awesome. But come here, be a part of this. Help us make a difference. I think that's the biggest thing as we're moving forward. When I first got here, I was like, what do we got to do to get bigger crowds? Like, you got to win. Yeah, you do, for sure. But, it's more than that. This is a wrestling experience. This is something that the state of Oklahoma can rally around coming to our matches. And I think as we continue to move forward, I think Oklahoma State wrestling can be a centerpiece for wrestling, and it starts with our fans here, obviously, in this arena. So it's awesome. The experience is gonna continue to improve. Anything else?
One question, just back to the Dean match. At the very end, it's pretty evident Dean could have ridden out for the tech there. You had him cut with 20 seconds to go. Could you talk about the decision to let him up there and go and get it?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to build that reputation. DJ's building that reputation. Yeah, he's awesome on top, but he's gonna have to. There's a point in time where he's gonna have to go get a takedown with 20 seconds left. Let's do it now. Let's show that you can do it against a really tough guy. And sometimes when there's blood in the water, you got to keep wrestling. You got to find a way to bury those guys because you're gonna wrestle them again. And you don't want to leave them with any hope. And that's just our sport. You get a chance to take that away, you got to take it away because when you wrestle new, it's a new match, but people don't really forget. So for DJ, that's great. But that's just us, I think if we get a chance to keep scoring, we got to make those decisions as coaches. It's not always the same, but he's got this ability to score, and he went and did it. I think that was cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right, guys, got Luke Surber and Dean Hamiti.
Luke, are you still parched from that however long 2-minute scramble there in sudden victory?
Yeah, I didn't really get much water because I did a cool down, and then we had Coach Taylor talk to us, and then I went and saw my family, and then I came right here. So.
What could you talk us through that exchange? What do you remember of it?
Yeah, I mean, I was dead to rights like twice, I think. I just kept wrestling. I had my arm extended, and then once I got my hands locked, I'm pretty good. So I sucked it in and got the takedown. But I mean, I know that I'm pretty hard to take down, so just got to keep wrestling through our position, and I'll score most of the time.
What goes through your mind in those moments that allows you to get out of some of those dead to rights situations?
I mean, it's either I get taken down or I lose, or I figure out a way, and so I just figure out a way to do it. So I kept my hands locked or I kept my hands on the leg and just continued to wrestle through.
DJ, it seemed like that one was exciting for you after the match. Just kind of take us through the emotions of it, and obviously pretty dominant performance from you.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering if I got the tech at the end of it. I mean, I heard the buzzer go off and wasn't really sure if I got the tech at the end, but just always exciting to go out there, wrestle a tough guy, and win like that. So.
Did you come into the match thinking that's how you wanted to dominate from the start?
Yeah, I think that's just how our team is. We want to dominate every single match, and I guess that's a showing of it.
Well, look, obviously you're part of the team last year.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive efficiency you guys have displayed from this point to now to last year is obviously night and day. Just the tendency to get those bonus point wins. What would you attribute that to holistically? Just the growth in that area.
Probably just what Coach Taylor preaches, and then when you got guys like DJ and Wyatt and Dustin that make scoring points look easy, that's what you want to go do. So I think we just try to feed off each other. When we got good guys up and down the lineup, you look at our first 3 weights, we get majors, in tough matches. We're just looking to score the whole time, pressing forward. I mean, if you look up and down the lineup, we're going forward the whole time. I feel like even in my match I didn't score, but I was going forward most of the time, and that's something I've been working on. Just going forward the whole time. I gotta get to my tax a little better, but I think just what Coach Taylor's preaching, just score points, not worry about the outcome.
As a wrestler, do you enjoy scoring more points, obviously? Having a coach that emphasizes offense a lot more like David does?
I mean, yeah, I don't think, Coach Smith wanted to score too, but it's just a different, I don't know, just maybe what we're doing a little bit's different. But we're just scoring points right now, but we still got a lot to improve on, and I think we'll be a lot better, the second half, building into our second half and into postseason.
DJ, what was it kind of like interacting with the crowd? Obviously, it's like the 3rd or 4th time that you wrestled there. Just kind of what was that moment like?
Yeah, I think it's always special to have a big crowd like that. My first couple of years I didn't reach even close to that type of crowd, and I like to be an energetic guy. I like to pump up the crowd, and it's always just fun to do that.
What were you thinking when Coach Taylor wanted you to cut him at the end to get the takedown when you could have ridden out?
Let's go and get another one. I mean, I'm always looking to score points. I have been for the past 4 years, and I think just honing in on these skills has really improved my game a little bit.
Do you feel like there was a turning point in your match when it goes from, all right, I'm in control to win it, to, all right, the tech is in range?
I think the first period, getting 2 takedowns that fast really sets kind of a pace for the match. It gives him a little bit of doubt and gives me a little bit of improvement.
174 is a commonly discussed weight. There's national champion Levi Haynes, national champion Keegan O'Toole. Those 2 are set to wrestle potentially this weekend. Will you watch that match?
Maybe. I'm always just focusing on myself and how I can be better, and I think that's another staple of our team. We're focusing on getting better ourselves, not really worrying about the future. We're staying in the present and working on what we could do better from this match.
Luke, going back to high school, I can remember you being a pretty good scrambler. What did you do when you were littler, and kind of like helped you to get to that level? Because wrestling through what you're wrestling through right there is pretty wild to see.
Yeah. So there was this guy, Tanner Literal.
Yeah.
He was super good at scrambling, and I remember my dad was a high school coach, and so I would go like after school and I'd hang out there, and Tanner was in junior high, and so I remember I would wrestle him like just roll around, like mess around, and so I think he was kind of funky, and so just being able to wrestle with him, you know, just helped me develop that. And then now going in here with Coach Taylor, I mean, obviously like he didn't show it in his matches a lot because he was so offensive, but he can freaking scramble, so it helps me a lot, you know, scramble with him. We had some pretty crazy scrambles like that, just rolling around at practice, so it's pretty fun.
DJ, what'd you take away? You had a tough match, 74 at Bedlam against Sachs, tough final against Vegas. Or against Norman at Vegas. What were your takeaways from those two tougher bouts?
Just really being able to pick and choose well, picking up on my opponent's like tendencies in my matches. You know, against Lorenzo, very long, lengthy like me, so it's hard to wrestle against guys like that. Him and Sachs are both long and lengthy, so I really have to get to their leg. But you know, when I pick up tendencies like people who are hard on their feet, I know I can pick pretty easily. So,
How important is the move up to 174 been for your output overall?
It's great. You know, I have more energy every day. I come in feeling pretty normal all the time. Don't get tired, and the legs don't get as sore, and just can eat one. So that's good.
Luke, you dropped that match to Andy at Vegas. What did you learn from that match that you maybe applied here?
I think that match there was like 1 or 2 exchanges, and I just had to have more exchanges because I knew they'd favor me. I had a couple of times where I think I could have scored. I had to take down, I felt twice, and then on top, I was going for the turn, like probably could have rode him and just got the win. But I think it's good to make mistakes and wrestle through that. But I think just the more exchanges I do, the more it's going to favor me in wrestling positions, getting in scrambles, getting to the legs. I still need to get my offense going a little bit more, but just the more wrestling positions, the better it's going to be for me.
Do you guys have a favorite teammate to watch? Are you like, oh, I got to be out there whenever whoever
I
wrestles?
like to watch Reese.
Yeah.
You know, he just kind of throws people whenever he wants and does crazy moves all the time, and it's really fun to watch him. I really like watching Troy too. He's very offensive and has a lot of pressure on his opponents, and I think he's a good example of our team.
Yeah, I'd say those two because those are the only matches I really like get to watch. Because once it gets to 41, I kind of go and start doing my own thing, getting prepared. I think it'd be pretty fun to watch DJ, but I don't really get to watch him that much because I'm warming up. But I get to hear the crowd. So.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.